results are in, people. The results are in, ladies and gentlemen. And AEW looks like it's won week number 1 of the so-called Wednesday Night Wars. And brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, because everyone is on the loose. Everyone's going crazy. All the AEW fanboys. I said this in my latest video that I did earlier prior to Dynamite, that if AEW was a school, all the AEW diehards today would get a pizza party. Literally today they get a pizza party. But that's around the point, guys. In all seriousness, congratulations to All Elite Wrestling for a show that I thought was good. There's some holes they gotta fix, but I think they will in time. But I think at the same time, though, I think for everyone that's going crazy, for everyone that's going insane about it right now, for everyone that's losing their shit about this right now, I think the big question is what happens next week, and the week after that, and the week after that, and after that, and after that. That is the real question I think people really aren't really looking into, if you will. But anyway, this is episode 310 of the Team Heel podcast. We thank you all for tuning in this week. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Give the podcast a big old thumbs up. Why the fuck would you not? You can check out the podcast on all our podcasting platforms that we're in. We're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher Radio, we're on Spotify, PodBean, iHeart Radio, also over at the Google Podcast for your likes and downloads and stuff like that. And if you want to help out the podcast in any way, shape, or form, give us the 5-star rating on iTunes. Leave a positive review if you'd like to. If you want to go the extra mile to do so, we have the Streamlabs enabled right now. Head to streamlabs.com/HeelSteven and leave a donation toward the podcast of your choosing. That's all I gotta say about that. And as always, guys, I am the fat fuck himself. I am Steve, and it's Thursday. To think that wrestling week is still not done yet. We still got more shit to get into this week. We got SmackDown tomorrow. Kofi and Brock. Rest in peace, Kofi's title run as WWE champion. And then Sunday's Hell in a Cell. And then Saturday you have UFC live from Melbourne, Australia. You have Israel Adesanya versus Whitaker going at it. I just had a brain fart on his fucking first name, but that's around the point for the middleweight title. And I'm also here joined by, live all the way from Detroit, the man with the golden charm, Big Mike from Big Mike Wrestling Recap Show. Big Mike, what's up, brother?
Yo, what's going on, Steven?
What's poppin', bro?
Nah, man, just chilling.
Chilling, bro. Okay, so Big Mike, AEW won week 1, bro. What's your overall take, man? Chat me up here.
Yeah, they over exceeded my expectations, as you know, as we did the Wrestle Companion yesterday. I said that I was aiming for them to go for about 750 to about 800,000, and looked like I was pretty much guessing the NXT ratings instead of the AEW ratings, but AEW blew it out of the water with the ratings. Ultimately, because everybody abandoned NXT for that night only, just to watch AEW. So yeah, those are my reasons why that happened.
You know what I think it is too? And I said this when NXT moved to USA Network like week 1 and they were doing that 1 hour thing.
Yeah.
Mike, by the way, is under the weather right now. It was his choice to be on, but he's on camp today. And it is what it is. Okay. Here's my take on this whole thing, right? I think the reality why, oh my God, AEW won, and again, all the diehards they're on the loose on Twitter right now. They're on the loose, they're going crazy, they're partying. And like I said earlier, if AEW was a school, like a middle school, elementary school, today they'd be having a pizza party, right? Extra cheese, pepperoni, mushrooms, motherfucker, I'm just saying. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, everybody's going nuts. It's a given, but the honeymoon isn't over yet. But when it is, I see those numbers dropping.
Yeah, I think like I was saying earlier, though, I think with NXT went to 1 hour to the USA Network. Yeah, it got a big number. People forget that. NXT in 1 hour on the USA Network did more than SmackDown Live.
Yeah,
forget that. And then the week after it dropped. It's gonna happen. I think people
Yeah.
forget that. And I think the reality is this. It's what happens the week after. At the same time, though, if you're a fan, a genuine fan of both NXT and AEW, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Then you know what? If you're in this whole thing for ratings and bragging, then you're part of the problem. In my humble opinion. What do you think, Mike, on that? What do you think? Chat me up, brother.
I'm kind of in the middle with that. I say the ratings ultimately don't really matter like that, but just to see a comparison of what both shows did for their duration on television at the same time, yeah, you're gonna pretty much, determine by numbers what was better because it's freaking numbers,
Facts.
and
Facts.
and it is what it is. And like you said, it's not about this week's important, but next week is even more important. If they can, continue these numbers and all that type of stuff, then okay, then we got something. But if they really start, I said this in my little video today. I said if they start getting into the 2 millions and the 2.1s, 2.2s, I think that's when Raw and SmackDown need to step up.
Yeah. And I think in general, and I read people's tweets this week, right? Today in general. Because again, like you said, there's fans that are pro AEW and say, oh, fuck you, WWE, and die. And there's a guy in the crowd we saw like he had a sign, Vince fears ratings and shit, right? But at the same time, on the other side of the coin, there's fans that are genuinely fan of both. And want both brands to succeed. They want both brands to, give out the very best in what they can do. And I think, again, at the end of the day, whatever side of the coin you're on, enjoy it. I mean,
yeah.
Go on, Mike. I'm sorry.
I think that some fans need to realize that instead of just splitting up and dividing and being divided wrestling fans, people need to realize that we got 4 hours of quality wrestling on Wednesday. 4 hours. And if nobody realizes that, and I've seen people just totally turn their back on NXT. It was like, oh, NXT sucks. This is like somebody was in my comments. They gave NXT yesterday a 3 out of 10 and gave AEW a 10 out of 10.
It happens though, bro. It's gonna happen. I mean, either thing, and however it may be, so be it. You know what I'm saying? Well, however it may be, whatever they're feeling, and let it be, bro. That's what I'm saying. Hey, what up, Eli? How you doing, brother? Eli, right? Hey, Steve, NXT versus AEW, fire, and that's what it is. Again, it's meant for fans to again enjoy what they want to watch. And again, I don't want this to be about that in particular. I know the ratings came out today. I know, Mike, you wrote it in our group chat, the number of the ratings.
Yeah.
Here we go. So in case you guys don't know, AEW, All Elite Wrestling, drew in 1.4 million viewers, basically, right? 1.4, that the right way I'm saying it?
Yeah, 1.409 million viewers.
Yeah, 1.409 million viewers. I said 1,409,000, which is kind of exaggerated, I'm assuming, right? And NXT drew in on week number 3. But keep this in mind. This is week 3 of them being on the USA Network, right? It's week 3.
Yeah, week 3. Yeah.
Keep that in mind. People just keep that in mind, all right? I just mentioned AEW's debut episode on TNT. And now what I'm mentioning here is NXT week number 3 on the USA Network. They drew in 891,000.
Right. Which is down from last week's 1 million.
Exactly. And you know what? I know all the AEW diehards are celebrating. All the podcasters that are pro AEW are again throwing a pizza party as we speak. But again, let's see what happens next week. Let's see what happens, what goes down. I know Mike did a AEW Dynamite review on his channel. I did one today, early today as I came back home from work as an installment of Around the Point. Go give those a watch whenever you choose. Give those a watch. Show some love. I will be watching NXT later on tonight as I finish up the podcast because I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched NXT yet. But from what I've heard from people that have watched it, they said, yeah, NXT might have lost in the ratings war, quote unquote, but they had the better show.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Again,
it was a mini takeover.
It depends who you talk to, and again, it depends who you talk to. So that being said, I will watch NXT after the podcast is done. I'm gonna watch NXT, and then I will do a review tomorrow morning as I come back from work. I will do a review, give my overall thoughts on the show, and I'll determine, who had the better show. Was it AEW with Dynamite, or was it, was it not Impact Wrestling? Goddamn, NXT with NXT Live. And here's the thing too, like, now with NXT being on Wednesdays live on not live on the USA Network, and SmackDown now moving to Fridays, it fucks us over as well because usually our show is on a Friday. Meaning
it fucks everybody.
It fucks everyone up now. That's what it is. So yes, granted, it's great, awesome that they're on the Fox Network, but at the same time, it fucks with us, the podcaster. It's us, our show. Our show's usually on Fridays, and the reality is, I have work Saturday morning at 4:30 in the morning, and I'm not gonna at 10 p.m. I'm asleep. Usually, I'm asleep at 10 p.m. Sometimes 11, but you kind of get the idea. So, with that being said, I'm here to announce now, going forward, that the Team Heel podcast will be moving to Sunday. I haven't talked with Walter yet. This is the first time that Mike's known about this right now. I don't know what Mike's stance on this, if you will.
Yeah, I'm for it. I just can't be here on pay-per-view days.
I know that. I mean, basically, our pay-per-view day, with the pay-per-view, we'll just skip we'll skip a week, basically.
Yeah.
We'll skip a week.
Yeah. So I'm down with it. I'm down for it.
Or if not, we'll do something. But you can't get the idea. But that's the plan going forward for Sundays. Team Up Podcast moving back to Sundays, basically. Thanks a lot, WWE. God damn it. And my NXT reviews and my AEW reviews will become now around the point. That's how I'm doing it now. That's the way I have to go. Granted, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I wish I could sit here and do a review on Raw on Monday nights after the Raw goes off the air. Or Tuesday, or not anymore, but you kind of get the idea. There's a reason why there's been a lack of reviews on my channel and lack of activity because of my schedule with work. I got 2 jobs, people. You know what I mean? If this was 2016, 2015, bruh, I would do all-nighters, record, and go right to work. Not anymore, bruh. But man, I'm 29 years old, bruh. I'm not getting any younger. Granted, for a lot of people, 29, you're still young, bruh. But yeah, but I can't be pulling them all-nighters anymore. That's the reality. And so that's the plan. AEW needs Tessa Blanchard. I guess AEW need Dragon Lee, some more CMLL guys. Mike, did you hear what happened with Dragon Lee and with Roosh? Did you hear what happened with them?
Yeah, didn't they get fired?
So, in case you guys don't know, by the way, we'll get into Hell in a Cell in a little bit. When you think about it, I'm looking at the card right now. There's only 3 matches on the card.
Well, yeah, because we haven't got to SmackDown yet.
That's crazy. Yeah, granted, keep that in mind. As we're doing this recording, it's still Friday. It's still Thursday. SmackDown hasn't happened yet, so just keep that in mind as we're doing this, okay? So anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, right. Goddamn, pal. So last Friday it was Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor, right? I know because guess what? I was there Saturday. I was in New York, which I'll get into as well in a little bit. My thoughts on the New Japan show from New York at the Hammerstein Ballroom. So Friday was Death Before Dishonor, and I watched the show. I watched it because again, I watched it free, basically, right, through some connections that I have. And the main, and again, overall, the show for what it was okay. It was a good show. But that's what it is. It's just good shows. But the problem with Ring of Honor is just like Impact. They're missing a buzz. Ring of Honor is feeling the AEW effect. They were at the Sam's Club in Las Vegas, and they've been to that venue numerous times over the years. And they've seen that venue sell out. I've seen it live on pay-per-view. From home, I've seen it sell out. I've seen it be packed. Where a guy did a picture of the venue being there at the show with his phone, right? What do you call those pictures? Like when you fucking spin it, or when you move the camera around to get a good angle and shit. A freaking
What are you talking about?
All right, so you know when you grab your iPhone, right, and you want to take a picture, right, of a larger space, and you like spin your camera or move your camera around to get all that you moved.
Panoramic view?
There you go, panoramic view. There you go, panoramic, right? And it looked nice. It looked packed, right? You know how the NWA is going to do a studio show called Power, right? Going forward?
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It felt like a studio show. And it's like, man, how the mighty has fallen. But the point of the matter is that the main event was Matt Taven defending the Ring of Honor World title versus Roosh. And the match, for what I thought was a good match, okay? Say what you want about Matt Taven. Oh, he's not worthy of being the Ring of Honor World Champion. I heard people say he's the worst Ring of Honor champion that Ring of Honor's had. I disagree. I think the worst was Michael Elgin. I thought Elgin had a great chase for the title, but his run as champion was shit because it was short-lived, right? So, Roosh beats him. Roosh beats Matt Taven in a one-on-one match, right? Everyone's celebrating, again, Roosh is celebrating Dragon Lee, who, by the way, they're both brothers in real life, right? It's all hunky-dory, right? And then CMLL puts a statement out officially letting them both go. Roosh's reason really hasn't really been explained what happened, but to my understanding, the Dragon Lee situation is because apparently CMLL told Dragon Lee to not compete in PWG's Battle of Los Angeles. But he did so anyway. And because of that, they let him go. And because of that, they let them go. Now, Roosh's situation, I don't understand. I don't know what really happened. I think it's really fucked up because you think about this too. Ring of Honor does have some sort of working relationship with CMLL, right? And then this happens. And keep this in mind, Roosh just won the Ring of Honor World title, which should be, again, an accomplishment in itself. He is the first Mexican wrestler to win the Ring of Honor World title, which is awesome. All the fuck you want, right? It got to the point where you had Charlotte Flair congratulate him on Twitter. Believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
Because, again, Charlotte's nailing his friend, so there you go. It's fucked up, but to my understanding too now, Roosh can't go back. He can go back to Mexico and wrestle, but he can't use the name Roosh because CMLL owns the name, as well as Dragon Lee.
Oh wow!
So Roosh is now being advertised for the Crash event Tijuana. I think coming up in October. I think it is, or November. But he's going now known as El Toro Blanco, the White Bull, which has been his moniker nickname basically, El Toro Blanco. Which is not bad. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that, Ring of Honor, again, you can still use the name Roosh in Ring of Honor because it's in America. But I think, again, with this working relationship, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. That being said, though, it's been reported that Matt Taven is staying with Ring of Honor, dude.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't. I think he wouldn't work anywhere else.
You never know, bro. You gotta understand this too, though. To my understanding, Ring of Honor threw him a shitload of money.
Yeah, that's not surprising, but to me, I think he just wouldn't work anywhere else. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, bro. That's the thing. He apparently threw him a lot of money, a shitload of money. Apparently, they're gonna probably do the same thing for Marty Scurll and Jay Lethal. By the way, Jay Lethal wrestled Jonathan Gresham, and Jonathan Gresham beat him. Very good match, by the way. Very good match. If you never seen Jonathan Gresham wrestle, imagine the Black Daniel Bryan. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Imagine the Black Bryan Danielson, basically. And by the way, he's nailing Jordan Grace. Lucky fuck, bro.
Good for him.
Look, good for him. Good for him. So there was that. And then Saturday, I went to New Japan's Fighting Spirit Unleashed at the Hammerstein Ballroom. And here's the thing about it. I wasn't going to go. I wasn't. Because I saw the card, and it felt like shit. It was a shit card, right? It just felt like something that you would see in Cork and Hall on the Road 2 show, basically. That's what it felt like, right? And I wasn't going to go. I thought about it. Like, yo, do I buy a ticket for this show? Nah. And then Friday, as I'm at work, my boss, as I'm ready to go home, my boss hits me up like, hey, come in my office. I want to talk to you real quick. I thought there's something wrong. Like, okay, what the fuck is going on? So I know that you're into wrestling because, again, he's a wrestling fan too. And I bumped into him at Raw, right? So he told me, like, hey, so I got this ticket for the New Japan show coming up tomorrow at the Hammerstein. I can't go because, number one, I'm not really into New Japan Pro Wrestling. And two, I have to do something with my wife and her family and shit like that, so I can't even go. So here you go. I'm giving it to you. Thank you. Awesome. And for what it was, yeah, granted, the card was crap, but I can't deny that, oh my God, it was a fun... I can't sit here and say, oh, it wasn't a fun show, because it was a fun show. Granted, there was issues that happened early on in the day as I got to the venue. Apparently, the show was supposed to start at 7 o'clock. It didn't start till like 8:30 almost. I'm pretty sure you heard what happened, right? I'm sure you heard what happened.
Yeah, I heard something. It was like some sabotage type thing.
Apparently, someone called in. Here's the thing. Per the New York State Athletic Commission, the law is there needs to be an ambulance present, an FDNY ambulance present at all times. Whether it's a wrestling event, whether it's a boxing, MMA, concert, doesn't fucking matter. There has to be an ambulance there, right? And I guess someone called in and said, hey, the New Japan show for today is canceled. And I guess if you're New Japan, hey, you get to the venue, you set up the ring, all this and whatnot. You're doing your meet and greet, right? And I guess they wonder where the fuck is the ambulance, and the shit is probably like 6 something, and they probably called in to find out what the fuck's going on, because the ambulance usually get there early. They're the first ones to arrive. At any show you go, they're the first ones to arrive. Okay? And I guess someone told them, hey, apparently someone called in to say the show was canceled. Oh, really? So then, I guess they had to scramble to get an ambulance to get to the venue. It felt like forever. Keep this in mind. It's hot inside. It's hot. I'm sweating my balls off. I'm wearing sweatpants, by the way. I wore sweatpants, my Goku black t-shirt, my Supreme hat, and I had my slides on with socks on. Yes. And it's hot. Just think about you're dealing with a bunch of people and bad odor. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like what 7:40 something, and the show hasn't started yet. And they started showing like clips from like New Japan World on the screen, right? They get people entertained, whatever. I think it was the president of New Japan or something like that came out, and he got into the ring and he got on his knees and just thanked the fans, and he apologized for what's been going on. Keep this in mind, the guy had broken English. Okay? His English was very broken. And he's basically apologizing a little more, and he started crying almost, I felt like. The guy almost started crying. That's how crazy the shit was. Rocky Romero came into the ring and hyped up the crowd, got everyone excited, rallied up. Then they started throwing t-shirts at everyone. And I caught a t-shirt. I caught one. Right? I go to see it. It's a nice shirt. It's a Tiger Hattori, the senior official for New Japan, is retiring, right? And this was his final U.S. Event that he was refereeing, right? And I find the size and it's a medium. I don't wear medium, bro. But you know me, I'm not a fucking medium. I'm a big motherfucker. I'm a big guy. Okay. Can you imagine they gave us mediums, bro? The disrespect that would be.
Yeah.
The fucking disrespect, right? So I give my shirt to some random chick that's there, right? Whatever. Give it to her. And again, the show hasn't started yet. And then I keep this in mind. Where I'm sitting at is by the entrance area, right? And also like the backstage section. So you see like the wrestlers coming in and out, whatever. You see it, and then in the corner of my eye, I see a fucking a gurney or a stretcher, whatever the fuck it was, right? And the whole crowd was lost their shit for a fucking stretcher. That's how I'm in bizarre world, right? And then the show happened, and again, I cannot deny. I mean, the idea that someone would do that is very fucked up. It's uncalled for. It really, really is. That being said, the fact that New Japan sold out the Hammerstein, dude, a venue that Ring of Honor has gone to for so many years, and it's a venue that it's an event without Ring of Honor, says a lot, dude. They jam-packed the Hammerstein ballroom.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. And I was saying this to people like outside the show, after the show, like, yo, this proves to me, and I said this in April. And people were pissed off when I said this shit. I don't know why. And I said that, yo, after G1 Supercard, it proved to me that, yo, New Japan does not need Ring of Honor to do a show in the U.S. And I'm happy to know that months later, that theory, that thing that I said, I'm proven right again.
All right.
What do you think, bro? Like, do you agree with that, bro? Like, think about it, yo. At this point in juncture, it's not. Go on, man. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, at this point in juncture, it's not New Japan that needs Ring of Honor. It's Ring of Honor that desperately needs New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just all it comes down to. They just need buzz. Just like all of the people that we thought that were gonna compete on a high level is just dying slowly. Like they won't go out of business. They won't go out of business because people actually like them.
They won't.
Like, because we need to just stop saying that when it's Impact and Ring of Honor gonna go out of business. They're not. They'll probably eventually get bought out, and somebody will slowly revive them, and they'll have another big break somewhere down the line. But that's all they need is just buzz.
At the same time, I said this to people too. Like, it's amazing how New Japan, for whatever reason, has remained loyal to Ring of Honor throughout all this. Right? You think about it. Right? People were even saying, "Oh, it was someone from Ring of Honor who did the sabotage." I don't want to believe. But think about it. Do you really think that Ring of Honor will be that stupid to fucking ruin their working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling? Was keeping them afloat in the U.S.? That would be stupid. That would be completely fucking stupid. Anyway, let's get into our predictions, shall we? Keep this in mind, okay? Keep this in mind. I am fully aware that it's Friday. It's Thursday. I'm fully aware that SmackDown is tomorrow. I am fully aware that there'll probably be more matches announced on Friday's SmackDown episode. I'm fully aware of that. So what we're going to do is give our predictions and then probably talk about matches that we'll be seeing eventually at Hell in a Cell anyway. After all, it's a prediction, right? You can predict the winners and losers, but you could also predict the match that will probably be added to the show. Am I right, Big Mike?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. You're 100%.
Sam writes here, NJPW doesn't need Ring of... I guess you're trying to say doesn't, but that's around the point, though. So, I'm looking at this card right now, bro. Okay, there's 3 matches thus far. Let's start off with the I guess the bottom of the three, if you will. That being a tag team match of Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan versus Luke Harper and the returning of Eric Rowan. There's rumors that Eric Rowan will be joining AEW once his contract runs up with WWE.
You mean you want to reverse that?
What do you mean?
You said with a returning Eric Rowan, it's a returning Luke Harper.
My bad. Luke Harper. I'm sorry. Luke Harper. God damn it. It's all the same shit. Okay. There's rumors and innuendos.
So Luke Harper.
There's talks that Luke Harper might be going to AEW once his deal runs up. That being Luke Harper.
And when will that be?
I have no idea. Cause you gotta believe that WWE will add more extensions to his dates.
Yeah. So what? He can go over there. It still wouldn't make me watch. Even though him and Luchasaurus in a match would be pretty good, but other than that, I don't care.
You know what it is though? I know we talked about AEW moments ago, but I'm gonna say this right now too. They need big guys.
They need big guys and storylines. That's all they need.
Yeah, and a haircut. Anyway. As you guys know, there's a whole thing that happened where Luke Harper was the man responsible for trying to kill Roman Reigns or end his career, basically. Kill is a strong word. I take that back. Or end the career of Roman Reigns by pushing down a giant metal like shelf, I think it was, down on him, run him over with a car. And in all of this, Daniel Bryan has become a babyface, and we get the return of Luke Harper. And now we have Bryan and Roman teaming up, the most random pairing. People are saying that in this match, Bryan will probably turn on Roman Reigns to reveal himself as the true person responsible for all this shit.
No, they would have did that already.
No, but I think you want to see it on a pay-per-view, though. Here's the thing about it, okay? Do you really buy that it's Eric Rowan by himself all of a sudden, like, being the one responsible for running over Roman Reigns? No. I don't.
I don't, but they would have did it already.
That's true, but I think you gotta wait for it, though. I think what's gonna happen at the pay-per-view, they probably will do it. In my humble opinion. But we'll see. That being said, though,
I don't.
Okay. Fair enough, Mike. Fair enough. Nothing wrong with that. You have every right to have your point of view. I respect it. I'm not going to get upset. Hey, how dare you, man? How dare you? You know what I mean? Like, that's around the point, though, bro. That's around the point. That being said, like I said, I see Bryan turning on Rowan. My bad. Roman. God damn it. Roman. God damn it. So all over the place. But I see that. I see Bryan turning on Roman, revealing to be the one responsible for what happened to Roman Reigns a couple of months ago. And there's that. What about you, Big Mike?
What are we on again? What'd you say?
Exactly. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan versus Bryan and Roman. Your predictions, Mike?
I'll say Rowan and Harper win again.
Okay, fair enough. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. From there, we get the women's champion, the Raw Women's title match of Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch inside Hell in a Cell. We have the Boss versus the Man. A match I look forward to seeing, to be honest with you. The rematch from Clash of Champions, but ended, I want to say, in disqualification. Now they're inside of the structure. Is it time, Mike? Is it time for them to put the belt back on the Boss and not the Man?
Yeah, I think this is Becky's last pay-per-view on Raw. I think she's gonna drop the title. I think Sasha is gonna win the belt, and she will be drafted.
Okay.
She will be drafted to SmackDown
versus Steven, the Blueprint versus the Man. Okay. There's that. Okay, I think Sasha wins the belt, and there's that. And again, I think Becky gets sent to SmackDown after that, because I think Ronda's going to SmackDown as well. But that's just something for another day. We then get the main event. So it seems. The main event being for the Universal Championship, the Red Tomato Can belt, as Solomon Monster would say. The Fiend Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, versus Seth, the Cowardly Champion Rollins. Because that's the way Raw has been booked. And that's not the way you want to book your champion. Like,
no, in this case, it's good in this case.
Really? Elaborate, Mike.
Because he's facing something of the unknown. He doesn't know what to expect. Yeah, he's like half confident, half scared because he just don't know what he's facing. And that's fine with me. If he undersells or doesn't even sell the fact that the Fiend is dangerous, then it's a failed experiment, and they are completely booking Seth Rollins as worse, probably even worse than Roman Reigns. But that's what I was afraid of the first 2 weeks because he undersold it, and now he's starting to sell that he's scared of the Fiend, and that's what needs to happen. My overall problem was when he attacked Braun Strowman. I was like, oh, so this is how they get out of it without giving Bray Wyatt the title. They have Braun Strowman interrupt the Hell in a Cell match like how Brock Lesnar did with his match a year ago. But he didn't show up at the go home show of Raw, so I don't feel as terrible or as bad about knowing that he's gonna intervene. So I think it's gonna be straight up, and I think the Fiend is gonna win straight up.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the Fiend wins it. At the same time, though, I mean, I was gonna say that what if we had, but again, it's gonna change now because what happened yesterday. Talks to Finn Balor coming back, right? In October.
Right.
But if he came back as the Demon,
right.
The challenge the Fiend,
right.
and would have had that Survivor Series. But I don't think it's happening now since Finn Balor is now part of the NXT roster. That's not even happening no more. It's not happening.
Yeah, you could toss all your Finn Balor rematches, the Demon versus the Fiend. That's out of the window.
Now, what if, in a way to, again, not have him lose right away, but to not have him win the belt? Okay, think about it. If Bray wins the belt, who takes it off of him? And when, right? Point is though, what if you have the Undertaker be the one to cause Bray the match? Think about it, bro.
Why would the Undertaker?
Because the Fiend took out Kane, his brother. I know, but again, we'll see what happens. And you know what? You booked that match not at Survivor Series. You booked that in Saudi Arabia. Sweet Saudi money for it, baby.
No, I have Sting and Undertaker fighting at the Saudi show.
Really?
We're gonna have that. That's what's because Sting's gonna be on SmackDown and Undertaker too.
Oh, bro, listen. I hope Sting comes out to his Metallica theme song from WCW.
No, they can't. They can't do that. They ain't got the rights to have that music.
But you heard the song though. You heard it before, right?
Yeah, I heard a snippet of it, but anything by an artist.
I love that theme song. I love it. But that's Hell in a Cell thus far. Matches that they could probably add to the show. When you think about it, maybe another AJ Styles versus Cedric Alexander match.
But I don't want to see that again. But they probably
get away with it. We can get a triple threat for the Raw Tag Team titles. You can get Dolph and Bobby Roode defending against the Viking Raiders and the OC.
Those OC doesn't deserve shit. They lost ever since they became the OC.
I know, but you need a body though. You need a body. Fuck it.
Well, freaking just do the Viking Raiders and Dolph and them straight up. You ain't got to do no triple threat.
Fine. We'll do that. Okay. You You can also do, I guess. You can also do. Okay, we're on the Raw. Right now, we're on the Raw side. Rusev versus Bobby Lashley after what happened on Monday.
I wouldn't. So no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't put them in a match right away.
Bobby, the home wrecker.
Because you got to hear the explanation first. Because if you don't hear the explanation and you just toss them in a match, then that'll just kill the whole thing. They started that feud off so hot. I wouldn't just toss them in a match right away. I got to hear the explanation first. And if the explanation isn't right, then they can do whatever they want. I'll be uninterested at the time.
Fair enough.
But right now, I'm interested.
Fair enough. How about, okay, we have we go to the SmackDown side. We have Bayley versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's title. Now peep this, because we're going into the Survivor Series right after this, and you want to you want to move the needle a little bit, right? You want to shake things up a bit, right? This is what I envision, right? You have Charlotte and Bayley going at it, right? And you have Bayley win, right? Or Charlotte win.
Right.
Fine. You have Charlotte win, because fuck it, why not, right? Charlotte 10 reigns, right? And after the match, you have Bayley try to attack, and then you have Charlotte. Yeah, then you have Sasha show up. Then Becky goes in to even things out, right? After their match, and they're all in the ring. And then a group of 4 people in masks show up, or 5, right? Yeah, 4 to attack. Right?
Right.
To attack all 4 members of the 4 horsewomen of wrestling, right? And then you find out they unmask, and it's Shayna Baszler, Rhea Shafir, Jasmine Duke, and Ronda Rousey. And it forces those women to get along for one night at Survivor Series. I know it's shit, it's stupid, but Mike, chat me up, bro.
Um,
Because a month ago I said they show up in a ninja suit, but you know, I know it's stupid, right?
yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen though. But that's a good prediction, but I don't think it's happening.
Fair enough. I tried. Okay. For the SmackDown tag titles, we have the Revival, right? Why not throw them in there against? Why not throw them up in there against the New Day again? Why the fuck not? Of Big E and Xavier. Why the fuck not? You gotta fill in the show. You know, you gotta fill it up. What is Nakamura doing? Nothing, right?
No, Nakamura's doing nothing.
You can do Nakamura versus The Miz. Or Nakamura.
Well, yeah, that's probably gonna happen. So yeah.
There you go. And then on the kickoff show, you can do Leo Rush versus Drew Gulak.
They're doing that next week on NXT.
I know, but again, a lot of the viewers don't watch NXT on the USA Network. So you want?
They're not gonna give twice.
I know they're not. You could do, I don't know, Humberto Carrillo versus Leo Rush.
Yeah, you can probably do that as a tune-up. Yeah, I can agree with that.
And again, that's basically my prediction. Our predictions of Hell in a Cell, the matches that they could probably make up on the spot, on the fly, and the matches that they're going to be on the show. Keep this in mind again. Keep this in mind again. This is Thursday that we're doing this podcast. The show is tomorrow, SmackDown Live, and SmackDown on Friday on Fox, where I predict Brock Lesnar will become the new WWE champion. And it's rest in peace to Kofi Kingston's championship run. However, what if Rey Mysterio costs Brock the championship? What do you think, Big Mike?
You said who
Interruption.
costs us?
Rey Mysterio.
Interruption?
Rey Mysterio.
No, I don't know. I don't think there's gonna be an interruption.
But it's Ray without his mask. Think about it.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny, but no, I don't.
Think about it, yo. Ray took off his mask in the ambulance.
Yeah, he did, which was a shocker. I don't know why a lot of people aren't talking about that.
Took off his mask, and then no one talked about it.
Yeah, nobody really.
Shame
Nobody.
on all you podcasters. Shame on all you YouTubers for not doing so. It's detail, motherfucker. It's detail. One thing about us here, the Team Up Podcast, here on THP, we point out detailed motherfuckers. Just letting you know. Like the Lexman pointed that out, or some guys View Entertainment didn't point that shit out, but that's around the point. Okay? Not like some goons pointed that out, but that's around the point. Okay? Not like some monster who's solo pointed that out, but hey, that's around the point too. It's around the point. But that's that. I mean, what else could we cover here before we wrap this up here? Oh yeah, so remember I told you what happened with the whole Killer Cross situation? Mike?
Yeah, the Killer Cross. Yeah, what'd you say about that?
So yeah, bro, it's really, really. So as you know, Killer Cross is going through this whole contract dispute with Impact Wrestling, right? And it's crazy because Ed Norholm was, I want to say, interviewed during the apparently Ed Norholm spoke with PW Insider, right? Regarding the Access TV situation and the Anthem and all that stuff, right? And these are snippets, by the way. This is per SE Scoops. These are some snippets, right, from the interview that was grabbed. And they asked Norholm about NJPW Access TV. And this is what he said, in quote, "We enjoy New Japan Pro Wrestling on Access TV and look forward to continuing that relationship." Norholm responded when asked about the company. "I think I've said it a couple of times since we've acquired access to anybody asking between New Japan, Women of Wrestling, Impact, my view, the world that Access TV will be the destination to watch wrestling." Okay, buddy. We've got a great lineup and look forward to working with New Japan Pro Wrestling and Women of Wrestling. Okay. And this is where things got really juicy. So they asked him about the whole Killer Cross situation, right? And this is very fucked up in my opinion. But this is what he said, in quote, right? "Well, nothing has changed. Kevin decided that he would rather sort of tweet his position rather than deal with it, right? Inaudible, deal with it, right? We prefer talent discuss amendments as appropriate. We say the same for Kevin. He's a talented wrestler that we would prefer to see in the ring than on the sidelines. He was then asked if there's a possibility that Cross could return to the promotion someday. And this is what he said. "Yeah, well, that would require him to come to speak to the company and deal with his company rather than tweet. I mean, there's always the possibility. We are open to all conversations." Norholm would also state communication continues with Cross representative. So there's that. It's very fucked up because you think about this, right? A couple of weeks ago, AAA came to the U.S., right, in New York, and Impact Wrestling provided them their license to run the show in New York at the Hulu Theater, literally inside MSG. And in the request, they told they did not want Killer Cross working that show. Which is very fucked up. Because Killer Cross also does stuff for AAA. It's very, very sad. It's very fucked up. This thing right now. Because again, Killer Cross, say what you want about him. The guy's talented. He's amazing. The guy deserves better. And I would hope that he does sort this shit out. It would be cool for him to stay somewhere in Impact Wrestling. Because he's a guy that I feel like stands out, if you will. But at the same time, there's companies like AEW who's kicking up on TNT. right? With 1.4 million viewers, right? Or maybe somewhere like NXT. But the point of the matter is, though, the guy deserves better. No doubt about it. No fucking doubt about it, Big Mike.
Yeah, yeah. What did he do exactly to get?
So he wanted more money. Like, he wanted to sign a deal, like a big number deal, apparently. That was the situation that I can remember. Um, he wanted a 6-figure deal from Impact Wrestling because he felt that, hey, just going to Impact, he got more over, he got more bookings and stuff like that. Keep this in mind. Impact allows talent to take independent bookings, right?
Right.
But he felt like he deserved better. He deserved more. Be compensated more because he has a family and stuff like that, even though he's dating Scarlett Bordeaux, which is understandable. Understandably so. No one's denying that. But it's very fucked up what's going on because the guy deserves better right now. In my humble opinion. That being said, Mike, anything that we didn't cover that we should cover before we wrap this up, man? Put a bow on this one.
I guess we can give our final thoughts on CM Punk.
Okay. What happened was, apparently, the rumors are true that he is going to Fox to do like some backstage role with WWE through the Fox deal, right?
Right.
So, to my understanding, he is not talking with WWE. All this is through Fox.
Right.
All this is through Fox. It's not through WWE. We're not sure yet if it's an ink deal, if it's officially going to happen. But the idea, cause I did watch something that Punk did with Collider, the people that run Pro Wrestling Sheet. And in the interview, he even said, like, yo, he doesn't want to wrestle anymore. But at the same time,
right.
he's willing to listen to offers that's being made to him.
Right.
I think, to be honest with you, it's the best way to use CM Punk at this stage of the game. I know a lot of people want to see him put on the tights. I know a lot of people want to see him, tape up that hand again, tape up those hands, put the X on and say it's clobbering time and wrestle and shit. But at the same time, though, at his age and where he's been and all that stuff, I don't have a problem with him being a commentator of some sort in this situation. You know what I mean? You gotta find ways to use him sometimes, And I feel like when the whole AEW thing happened, they just want him to wrestle without realizing the guy can do more than just that, if you will.
Right.
What do you think, Mike? What do you think on this whole thing?
Yeah. I knew from the get-go, like, he's been away from wrestling too long. I feel like that he has no passion to get in the ring anymore. I feel like that commentating is probably where you want to go. I wouldn't mind if he can be like a Joe Rogan of wrestling. That would be pretty good.
I think he will be. I think that's the way for him to go. But granted, though, it's not through WWE. It's just through Fox. It's not that he's talking.
It's through Fox.
Now he's talking to Vince. Now he's talking to Triple H. He's talking to Fox. So there's that.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes out. We'll see how that all takes place and shit like that. But I don't know about you, Mike, but this has been fun. I think this is the time we just wrap this up because, again, I got to watch NXT, see what the fuck happened. I got to do a review tomorrow and stuff like that. And tomorrow's SmackDown. Tomorrow I'm working late, so there's that. But I want to thank you, man. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank all of you that tuned in this week as well. All of you that listened on the playback option, all the other platforms that we're in, whether it's iTunes, whether it's Stitcher Radio, whether it's Spotify, whether it's, again, all the other platforms that we're in right now. Thank you guys as always. Again, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Podbean, iHeart Radio, Google Podcast. You can follow the Team Heel Podcast on Twitter at Team Heel Podcast. And if you want to help the podcast out, give us that 5-star rating on iTunes and give us a review. It helps out the show in the long run. All right? You can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. You can follow me there. Hit that subscribe button down below. All that fun stuff. Big Mike, let them know. Where can they find the man with the golden charm, bro?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at BigMike199519 and on YouTube at Big Mike's Wrestling Recap Show.
With that being said, guys, we are out. This is the Team Heel Podcast. Peace out, dorks.